All right, Rob Hale, would you like to take it away for us?
Great, thank you very much. And good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Rob Hale and the Chief Operating Officer of Travel and Relax. Tonight, I am honored to be joined with our company's CEO and tonight's moderator, Maurice Washington, my wife, Lisa, who serves as our Director of Celebrations, and our amazing behind-the-scenes staff of Max Ratkai, James Pamati, and Heather Smith, who all help us in our ongoing efforts to always provide top-level customer service to our guests. Travel and Relax was founded 17 years ago on August 1st, 2004, with the mission to unify the world one traveler at a time. These tours began in June of 2020 as COVID-19 challenged our world and dramatically changed how people travel. As Travel and Relax considered how we could help you escape the stresses of today's world, we felt that offering you virtual tours around the world to some of the world's great destinations and with some of the great suppliers would provide you with a great escape from today's stresses, all from the comfort of your own environment. Our major tours are being held bi-monthly, with regional tours being held every other month. All of our tours allow you to dream of future travel experiences which you might enjoy. Tonight, we are very pleased to offer you an exciting tour with our partners at Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, which will be presented to you by our friend Dan Acabelli, Strategic Account Manager with the Royal Caribbean. Before Dan begins, while we do want to hear from you, to prevent the distractions of background noise, all attendees will be muted. There will be a question and answer period at the end, and if you have questions, please enter it in the chat box or raise your hand in the participants box, and our moderator will make sure that your questions get asked. And now I am excited and pleased to introduce you to Dan Acabelli.
Thank you so much, Rob, and thank you, Maurice and Lisa, for having me tonight. And everyone, thank you so much for taking some time out of your crazy schedules to go on a virtual tour of some of our incredible Royal Caribbean cruise ships. As Rob said, my name is Dan Acabelli, and I work very closely with them at Travel and Relax to help them deliver just fantastic vacations. Well, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Says it right there, the wait is over. We actually have been sailing in the water since June 12th out of Nassau, Bahamas. Since then, we have released more and more ships, more itineraries, more ports, most of them in the United States, and we have been sailing incredibly successfully and safely for the past couple of months. The future is incredibly bright here at Royal Caribbean, and we are just so excited to be able to say we have ships in the water and you can sail with us and have an incredible and incredibly safe vacation. So let's go and talk about the first phase of our return to sailing this year. The very first ship that we put back in the water was our Adventure of the Seas, which was sailing out of Nassau, Bahamas, and still is, doing a 7-night Caribbean itinerary that visits Perfect Day at Coco Cay. That is our newly renovated private island. You can see that big hot air balloon in the background. That is an actual attraction that we do have at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Put about $500 million into this island to really deliver essentially Royal Caribbean's very own theme park equipped with our own water park. It's an incredible destination, and you can only get that by going to Royal Caribbean. But other than that, we do have a wide selection of ships available for 7-night Caribbean itineraries right now. You can jump on a ship next week if you'd like to. We'd definitely love to have you. But we, of course, have deployment and itineraries available through 2023 as well. If you do want to take a look at any of the itineraries or any of the ships that I'm sharing tonight, please make sure to reach out to your incredible travel professionals at Travel and Relax. So back to the list here. We, of course, have Adventure of the Seas. We have our Allure of the Seas, which is one of the largest cruise ships in the world, doing 7-night Port Canaveral itineraries, also going down to the Caribbean to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And then Symphony of the Seas. This is actually the largest cruise ship in the world. It's actually going to be debuting August 14th, just a couple days away, and we're so excited to get our flagship, the biggest ship, back in the water, doing also 7-night Caribbean itineraries. But the biggest news that we have here tonight is the release of our brand new cruise ship, which is the Odyssey of the Seas. It actually started sailing on July 31st. It's been sailing successfully, But more on that to come. We'll take in a nice little virtual tour of the ship and let you know what this incredible ship has to offer. And if you're looking for some shorter cruise vacations, we absolutely have that available as well, starting right now. We have our Freedom of the Seas, which is sailing out of Miami, doing Caribbean itineraries, also to Perfect Day, as well as our Mariner of the Seas, which is going to start sailing on the 23rd out of Port Canaveral, Florida. Just so excited to be able to talk about sailings that are actually in the water, actually going, not getting canceled. We're over that stuff from the past 17 months. We're moving into the fun stuff here, talking about packing your bags and getting on a plane and jumping on a cruise ship. It's the best vacation possible. I work for this company because I love cruising that much. It's the reason I applied in the first place. And, we're just so excited to be able to deliver these vacations again. It's been far too long. So to expand on our first phase of our return to service with Alaska, I was actually on board our Ovation of the Seas a couple of weeks ago for our test sailing. The ship is gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it's doing 7-night Alaskan itineraries. And it's going to go to Ketchikan. It's going to go to some fantastic ports of call, Icy Strait Point. It's going to take you through Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier. So you see that picture back there? You'll be able to see that in person. Pictures don't do this justice at all. You really got to see that for yourself with your own eyes. But we're just so excited to be able to have an Alaska season this year. And actually going into next year, we will have 4 ships sailing to and from Alaska. Plenty of opportunities to see the incredible wildlife, the glaciers, the mountains, smell that fresh mountain air, see some bald eagles if you want to see that. If you want to do some whale watching, you can do that as well on any of our Alaskan sailings. And then moving over to Europe, we do have 3 ships that are going to be returning to service. Actually, our Anthem of the Seas has been sailing from Southampton, England since July 7th, very successfully. And our Jewel of the Seas has actually been doing Greek Isles sailings from Cyprus. So it's been going to Mykonos, it's been going to Santorini. It's just a beautiful itinerary, and we're so happy to bring our guests back to the Mediterranean. And then, of course, our Harmony of the Seas is going to start sailing out of Barcelona and Rome starting August 15th, just a few days away. Really, what the point we're trying to get across here is we're back, cruising is back, and we are so happy to be able to welcome you all on board. And if you're looking for a more unique itinerary, we do have some sailings out of Asia on our Quantum of the Seas, which is sailing out of Singapore. All right, so we're going to move on to the next phase here of our new deployment, which is going to take us through the end of the season, the end of this year. So our Oasis of the Seas, you're going to see that pink lettering that says Amped. We actually renovated the ship back in 2019, November 2019, put about $200 million into the ship to really bring it up to speed with some incredible innovations that have been working on our Symphony of the Seas, which is, once again, the biggest cruise ship in the world, and it just has the most innovative entertainment at sea, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that one later. But Oasis of the Seas is going to be debuting out of Bayonne in New Jersey September 5th, doing some incredible Caribbean itineraries. And if you're looking to sail out of a really unique destination, we are happy to announce that our Grandeur of the Seas is going to be sailing out of Barbados. We have not sailed out of Barbados ever in our company's history, so we're really excited to offer these Southern Caribbean itineraries. And what's great about these Barbados sailings is you can touch on those ABC islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. And we actually have a couple of itineraries where you go to Aruba twice. You stay there overnight. Really unique chance to see those incredible Southern Caribbean islands. And then if you're looking to sail out of Texas, we do have some incredible offerings available to you. Starting with our Liberty of the Seas, it's going to be doing 7-night Caribbean itineraries, mostly to Mexican ports like Cozumel and Puerto Costamaya, but some beautiful ships, beautiful itineraries. Then our Enchantment of the Seas is going to be sailing out of Maryland starting December 23rd of this year. Our Explorer of the Seas is going to be doing some great 7-night itineraries out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And those are also some great sailings because it gives you the opportunity to visit those Southern Caribbean islands that everyone is just really trying to get to. They're gorgeous. They are absolutely beautiful. And then going back to one of our Florida ports, our Vision of the Seas is going to start sailing January 24th. And once again, if you're looking for some shorter sailings, we do have 3- and 5-night sailings available. We have our Serenade of the Seas sailing out of Tampa, Florida, starting October 16th. Our Brilliance of the Seas sailing out of Tampa on December 16th, and some big news here. Our Navigator of the Seas is going to be sailing out of Los Angeles. We haven't had a ship there in over a decade. It's been far too long for us. So we're really happy to bring this ship over to LA, and it's going to start sailing November 19th of this year. That's a really quick, easy flight to get from Colorado or wherever you're from over to the port of LA, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful ship. But I have more about that ship to come later on. All right, and just to continue on this list of just, the royal comeback, just so happy to be able to talk about these itineraries and us getting more and more of our ships back in the water. So more Alaskan adventures. I did mention that we're going to have 4 ships sailing to and from Alaska next year, and Radiance of the Seas is going to be one of those sailings. It's going to be sailing from Vancouver, Canada, Seward, Alaska, starting April 29th of next year. And actually, it's going to be doing a really great repositioning cruise from LA on April 23rd. So if you're looking for a unique sailing opportunity, that's going to be a really fun one, going from LA over to Vancouver. Really fun sailing, very unique. And moving over to some more Europe and Australia sailings, we do have our Ovation of the Seas, which is going to be sailing from Sydney, Australia, starting December 13th of this year. Our Voyager of the Seas is going to be doing some incredible European itineraries from Barcelona, Spain, and Copenhagen, Denmark. And then last but not least, the Rhapsody of the Seas is going to be doing a transatlantic sailing. This is going to go from Rome, it's going to go to Italy, Athens, Greece, and it's just a fantastic opportunity to see some really great ports of call, some great European countries, and it's a long sailing as well. So if you want to take a look at that sailing or any of the sailings that I'm talking about tonight, once again, please don't hesitate to reach out to your incredible travel professionals at Travel and Relax. All right, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about our Odyssey of the Seas, which has been sailing since July 31st. And once again, this is our brand new cruise ship. It's brand spanking new. It's only been sailing for about a week and a half, but we're just so happy to be able to get new ships back in the water. We're building more and more going into the future. Once again, we have big plans here at Royal Caribbean, but let's talk a little bit more about Odyssey of the Seas. So this is just an incredible ship. It's actually part of our Quantum class. It's the second largest class of ship that we do have at Royal Caribbean, but it has some of the most unique amenities that we have on any of our ships. So starting with our Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. If you love Italian food, mountains of food, this is going to be the great spot for you. I took my wife here because we have Giovanni's on several of our other ships, and they bring you just platters and platters of food. Definitely make sure to bring some friends and family to help you finish that food, because it's going to be a lot. I always gain about 10 pounds whenever I jump on a cruise ship. It's worth it. It's what I like to do when I vacation. So if you're a foodie, we have plenty of options for you, such as teppanyaki. This is going to be our Asian hibachi restaurant. So if you love that Benihana feel, why not do that on a cruise ship? It's a lot of fun. It's an absolute blast. Playmakers, this is actually a brand new sports bar that we launched in 2019, and it's been wildly successful. It's going to be a great spot to grab some great beer, some chicken wings, some Parmesan garlic covered fries. It's incredible food, and we have plenty of television screens playing live sports the entirety of the sailing. So we get the Super Bowl, we get the NBA Finals, we get the World Cup, we had the Olympics a little bit ago. So we're going to have all those major sporting events in our incredible sports bar, as well as on TVs all across the ship. Moving over to our Seaplex, this is unique to this specific class of ship. This is an indoor sports complex where we have a trapeze school, ping pong tables, table tennis all over the place. But what's really fun about it is the middle of that court is a bumper car arena. This is complimentary. It comes with your cruise fare. And what's great about this Seaplex is Playmakers, the sports bar I just talked about, is right on top of it. So mom and dad can be at Playmakers drinking some beers while watching their kids hit each other with bumper cars all day. It's the perfect combination, and we're just so happy to be able to deliver this really fun combo to you, to our guests. We are always trying to bring great innovations to our ships and make sure you guys are having the best vacation possible. We really want those sea days to be action-packed. We don't want you to be bored for a second, which is why we pride ourselves on having the most activities, the most venues, and the largest cruise ships in the world, and we are a multi-generational brand. So we are perfect for families. We're perfect for solo travelers. We're perfect for couples as well. We are perfect for everyone of all ages. But moving back over here to Odyssey of the Seas, Zone Zero, this is actually a brand new virtual reality experience. We haven't launched it before. I haven't even seen it yet. But from what I'm being told, it's an incredible complimentary virtual reality experience. You definitely have to check it out. But one more amenity that we did add onto our Odyssey of the Seas is a laser tag. This is complimentary. And what we do is we actually cover our ice skating rink because we have an ice skating rink on our ships. We like to be a little extra. We cover that, we blow up these huge inflatable walls, and we strap you with laser guns. It's free. You can shoot your friends and family with laser guns. They're, of course, harmless, but it's a lot of fun. If you have that competitive spirit, it's going to be a fun game for you and the entire family. All right, moving over to the pool deck. The signature spot on any cruise ship has got to be the pool deck. So we really wanted to deliver with this brand new ship, this really innovative, colorful, beautiful, wide open space. And this pool deck is just incredible. So we have actually our brand new pool bar. It's called Lime and Coconut. A lot of great color. There's a lot of shade. And what I love about this bar and all of our bars at Royal Caribbean is you're going to get some unique experiences. So I was at Lime and Coconut on one of our other ships a couple of years ago, and I ordered a margarita. The bartender left from behind the bar. He sat next to me on a bike I didn't know was there. He put a blender on the back of the bike, and he pedaled my margarita. It was hilarious. It was so fun. It was so unexpected. We have so many of those little wow experiences that we don't advertise. We want to, surprise you on board the ships, but that was just so much fun. And we did bring the Casita experience on board our Odyssey of the Seas. They're complimentary little, hooded, areas you can spend some time, get some shade. It's just first come, first serve. But we added a lot of those onto our pool deck. Skypath, this is a really unique entertainment venue that we have added onto this ship. What we're going to do is we're going to strap you in a harness. You're going to be jumping up and down on a trampoline while wearing a virtual reality headset. It is incredible. I did it on one of our ships. I was actually jumping on the moon, collecting some coins. It was a lot of fun. It's absolutely complimentary. And then speaking of complimentary, El Loco Fresh. This is our new Mexican buffet restaurant that is located on the pool deck. So think of it like a Chipotle-style restaurant. You can pick between tacos, burritos. You can make your own loaded nachos. You can get some quesadillas. I'm salivating just talking about it. I haven't eaten yet. But it's some of the best new complimentary food that we have added to our cruise ships. You absolutely have to check it out. And since it's on the pool deck, you can grab it and go in a bathing suit, which is perfect. But one of the coolest things that we do have on our Odyssey of the Seas has to be that little arm you see there at the top. That is called the North Star. This is a complimentary ride where we're going to take you over to the side of the ship. We're going to bring you 150 feet up into the air, and you get these gorgeous 360-degree views of wherever port you're at or when you're at sea. It's incredible. It's so unique. It's an absolute blast. You have to give it a shot. All right, and moving over to our award-winning Adventure Ocean program, we can house all of your children on board this program. It's incredible. It's complimentary, and we can take kids from 6 months old all the way to 17. That doesn't mean we're going to put them in the same room. We have separate rooms for separate age groups and a bunch of activities that are curtailed to those certain age groups. They're going to have an absolute blast. We're not just going to stick them in a room and throw a movie on. We have certified child care professionals that run the Adventure Ocean program, and they are incredible. Your kids are going to have an absolute blast. So if you want to drop them off here during the day and then maybe go for a date, get some lunch or get some dinner or something like that, this is a good spot to drop off the kids. And speaking of kids, moving a little older here to teenagers, we actually added some brand new, first ever on our ships, some new teen space. So we actually added their own private indoor space. They're going to have complimentary Wi-Fi in this room. They're going to have video games and computers, and our backyard. This is a new El Patio, we're calling it. This is a new venue that we added. This is exclusive to teenagers. Mom and dad can't even go back there. So those pesky teens like to get away from the parents. This is where you're going to find them. But it's a great spot for them to play some giant chess and want to do that, or just lounge and relax and hang out with the other teenagers on board. It's a gorgeous area of the ship. And once again, we pride ourselves on being multi-generational. Our teenagers, our kids are absolutely taken care of on board Royal Caribbean. All right, so talking about the itineraries that our Odyssey of the Seas is going to be sailing on. So it's been sailing since July 31st. It's doing 6 and 8 night Caribbean itineraries. On that 6-night sailing, it's going to go to Labadee, Haiti, which is our private island in Haiti. It's gorgeous. It's also going to visit Falmouth, Jamaica, and as well as Nassau, Bahamas. But the best itinerary that we have offered in a long time out of Florida is going to be that 8-night Southern Caribbean and perfect day at Coco Cay itinerary. Typically, to get all the way to those Southern Caribbean islands, you have to fly to San Juan, Puerto Rico, or now Barbados. But if you're looking for a shorter flight, that 8-night Southern Caribbean sailing is going to be perfect because it's sailing out of Fort Lauderdale. And it's going to go down to Oranjestad, Aruba, Willemstad, Curacao, as well as Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which once again is our new updated private island. It's gorgeous. This itinerary is incredible. And then it's actually going to be doing some 8-night Southern Caribbeans as well, where it's going to kind of rotate some of those ports. So it'll take out Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and we'll replace that with Falmouth, Jamaica. All right, so I mentioned this, the Caribbean Adventure sailing from Barbados. We are going to have 2 ships sailing out of Barbados, starting with Grandeur this winter and Rhapsody of the Seas next winter. Great opportunity to sail out of a brand new home port. It's really unique for us. We're really excited to deliver these Southern Caribbean itineraries from a port that isn't San Juan, Puerto Rico. Even though it's gorgeous in its own right, we just wanted to offer a little bit of variety. All right, so I cannot end this presentation without talking about our cruises from Los Angeles. Once again, we haven't sailed out of LA in over a decade, so we jumped at the chance to bring over a ship to Los Angeles. And what better ship than our Navigator of the Seas? We actually put this ship in renovation back in 2019, put about another $200 million into this ship, and added water slides, added a brand new pool deck, added the Playmaker Sports Bar that I mentioned on our Odyssey of the Seas, as well as Hooked Seafood. This is a specialty dining restaurant that you're going to get the best seafood on a ship. If you're looking for that lobster tail, that's going to be the spot to do it. If you're looking for some oysters at our raw bar, that's going to be the spot to get it. It's incredible food, and if you love sandwiches, the Messy Fish Sandwich is going to be one of the best fish sandwiches you eat in your entire life. It's that good. I highly recommend it. And we're just so happy to bring Navigator of the Seas to LA. And it's actually going to be doing Mexican Rivieran sailings from 3, 4, 5, and 7 nights. It's going to debut November 19th of this year. So it really depends when and where you're trying to go. But to give you a little bit more of a preview into our Navigator of the Seas, we also added a new beautiful pool deck. It looks very similar to the pool deck that we have on Odyssey of the Seas. Wide open, more color, more shade in that new lime and coconut bar. All right, just to give you kind of a closer shot of that, we have those loungers that go into that little pool that's complimentary. Once again, it's just first come, first serve, but it's just a really great, brand new, rethought pool deck. All right, and then Adventure Ocean, such as on Odyssey of the Seas, we have our award-winning Adventure Ocean program. We have it on each and every one of our ships. Your kids are going to love it. It's a great spot for them to get some really great complimentary activities while you can go off and do something else on board the ship. Maybe get in that North Star ball on Odyssey and go and see those incredible views of the water. All right, and I did mention Hooked Seafood, but we do also have our Jamie's Italian. So if you're looking for some of the best Italian food at sea, this is going to be the great spot to do it. That is Chef Jamie Oliver. We have a celebrity chef that has sponsored one of our restaurants, and the food is top notch. And if you are a caffeine junkie like I am, we do, of course, have a Starbucks on Navigator of the Seas. All right, so I did mention our Playmaker Sports Bar. Also has an arcade attached to it for our younger guests. But the Bamboo Room, this is a unique spot to get a really great craft cocktail. So I will say it takes a little bit to get the drink, but it's an experience. You're going to order this drink. You're going to have a great conversation with our bartenders. They love talking to our guests and love making these great, unique drinks. You can come in tiki cups. It's so fun. It's an absolute blast. So I recommend getting at least one drink at the Bamboo Room. All right, so let's talk briefly about the port of call that this is going to be sailing. So I did mention this is going to be sailing out of LA. So of course, LA is a hot spot for travel. You can visit Hollywood, do some great shopping, get some incredible food, as well as view the beautiful beaches. But what's great about this ship is the ports of call that's going to be sailing to in the Mexican Riviera. So starting with Catalina Island, I mean, just gorgeous, beautiful beaches. You can zip line, you can see some buffaloes, some great wildlife as well. We're really excited to be able to get a ship over to Catalina Island. The next port I'm going to talk about just very briefly here, because I don't want to take too much of your guys' time tonight, is going to be Ensenada, Mexico. So you're going to get those famous canyon trails. You can see those beautiful tall cactus. Don't touch them, they will hurt, but they're really pretty to look at. You can get some of that local cuisine. You can actually the birthplace of fish tacos. So if you're looking for that really great taco, that's going to be the spot to get it. And then, of course, Ensenada is not complete without its beautiful views of those cliffs and those beaches. All right, Cabo San Lucas is going to be another one of the ports that we do visit. So if your clients love snorkeling and scuba diving, this is going to be a great port for them. And once again, just like the other ports that I'm talking about tonight, just some gorgeous views, some of the best beaches in the world, and whale watching. You can see some whales when you are in Cabo San Lucas. You got to be a little lucky, but they do come out every now and then. All right, moving over to Mazatlan, Mexico. So you can actually climb the top of that little cliff there. You can get some incredible photo ops. So definitely make sure to bring your camera. You can also walk through the beautiful, colorful towns. You know, they have these great, vibrant colors on all of their buildings, as well as some fantastic historical sites. We're just so excited to be able to sail back to the Mexican Riviera out of LA. Okay, moving over to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You can see these great ancient artifacts. You can do some great local artisan shopping, as well as, once again, see these beautiful, pristine beaches. All right, so I did want to talk very briefly about our staterooms and some of our safety protocols before passing it back over to us, our great hosts at Travel and Relax. So just to give you an idea of the extra measures that we are taking on board our ships, I will start with our cabins. So our room service, I love room service. I love getting that every morning for breakfast and late at night when I'm getting a little snacky. If I want a piece of pizza or something like that, room service is now contactless. So you can order that. They're going to deliver the food to your door, knock, and then they are going to go away so you can safely grab your food. We are cleaning each and every one of these cabins with EPA certified cleaning materials, hospital grade disinfectants. And they come in multiple times per day, unless you're in the cabin, of course. They're not going to come into that room if you are in that room, of course. And then once again, the daily distance service, we're going to have some fresh filtered air. This is actually a pretty big deal for us. We renovated our ships to filter this air up to 12 times per hour in your stateroom. It's actually more than that when you're out walking around the general areas of the ship. We want to make sure that air is nice and fresh. It isn't stagnant. Nothing's going to hang around there. We're going to be cleaning that out each and every 12 times per hour. And then we do have our safety briefing. We have a rethought muster drill. You used to have to go to a certain spot of the ship to complete this muster safety drill, but now we have moved this to be purely virtual. So you can do this on the Royal Caribbean app in your cabin or anywhere across the ship. And we are giving you guys some complimentary face masks and hand sanitizing gel as well. It's just one of the very many safety protocols that we are putting in place. For more details on those protocols, definitely make sure to reach out to your travel partners at Travel and Relax. And then just another shot of this, just really want to drive the point home that we are sailing, but we're doing it incredibly safely. We don't want to mess this up for anybody here. We want to make sure that you guys can have the best, safest vacation possible, and we're putting a lot of work into this. All right, and that is all that I am going to have. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Dan. A couple of questions did come out, and I just wanted to ask you this particular question regarding the protocol. What is the window for your COVID test?
So for our COVID test, yep, of course, we are requiring our guests to show up to their ports with an antigen or PCR negative test, of course, that is 72 hours old. We're recommending the antigen test because you can get those results much, much quicker than the PCR, but both will be totally fine. We accept either.
Okay. And you want the actual original card, not the
Absolutely.
photocopy, right?
Yep. If you are vaccinated, we will require the actual physical hard copy of that vaccination. We will not take a photocopy. Don't laminate it. Don't put in anything fancy. We just want that white card.
Okay, great. We also have a question from Lisa. And for the ships in Singapore, Americans can't go yet. Is that correct?
So that's changing relatively soon. More on that to come. But I did want to mention that we have that ship out there because it's been sailing actually very successfully. Since early 2020, which is interesting. Well, mid 2020. But more info on that to come later. We're going to open it up to more guests.
Okay. Let's see here. And also, we have a question from Rob. What is the definition of an amped ship that showed on some of your slides?
Yeah, so amped means amplified. What we mean by amplified is refurbished. So we took it into dry dock. So we took it out of the water and we pumped money into these ships to really redesign them, make the staterooms nice and shiny and brand new carpeting, new beds and all that, as well as adding new attractions and amenities onto the ship. So when you see amplified, we didn't just go and change one tiny thing on the ship. We changed pretty much everything on board.
Okay. Actually, I have a question from Jeffrey. Are vaccines required or just negative tests?
So that is a combination of both. Vaccines are absolutely required on our ships, although we are allowing a very small amount of unvaccinated guests on board our Royal Caribbean ships. Depending on if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, there will be different safety protocols that you will have to adhere to. To get those specific details, I'm going to send all that over, of course, to Rob, Maurice, and Lisa, and they can convey all that information to you. But it's really going to depend on the port that you are sailing out of. So make sure you're double checking every port, double checking with your travel agent to see what those protocols are.
Great. I have a question here. So I was noticing I was just really keyed in on the bumper cars. That was pretty amazing to have on the ship. What gets in the move? I mean, is it because when I think of bumper cars, I think of Elitch's, right? You got or Lakeside or whatever. But
yeah,
what how is it? What is it? How is it powered by?
It's powered. It is electric, so they're not going to have the big cables you'd see at a regular carnival. We're going to be charging them, all throughout the day, and it's a massive arena. It's not the tiny little bumper car space you'd get at your regular carnival. It's huge. It's wide open. They're not going to go too fast. They're bumper cars. We don't want anyone getting hurt, but it's complimentary. It's so much fun, and once again, having that Playmaker Sports Bar right above it is just a really great combination. I can't wait to see it in person.
That was awesome. We actually have another question from Rob here. Are COVID policies determined by the ports or by the Royal or both?
So that right now, that answer is a combination of both. However, most of these protocols are being put in place by the ports that we are visiting. So if you're thinking of doing a cruise to Europe, a cruise to Australia, make sure you are reading those countries' protocols. And if you want to look that up or get some more info, of course, reach out to your travel partners. It's very important for you to understand and know where you're going so you can know what protocols to follow, because everywhere is going to be different.
Gotcha. All right. Well, at this current time, it doesn't seem like we have any more questions. I want to start, and I'll hand it off to Rob in a second here, but thank you again for your fantastic information and being so thorough. And I'm glad you have the ability to get out there and see firsthand as to what's going on, because again, that's just important. So I'm sure everybody does feel more comfortable now with getting on a cruise. And so again, thank you for taking your time to share this information.
Of course, happy to be here.
I'm going to go ahead and turn over to our CEO.
Great. And Dan, I also want to thank you very much. It was an amazing presentation. I have to confess that I did see on one of your slides that towel animals would still be provided, which excited me.
Of course, that's not going away.
We love going in the stateroom and seeing those. So, and that made us even more excited to actually be going on a cruise with you guys in September. So we're really excited to experience Royal post COVID where we are, so we can continue to better advise our guests on how to best sail with you guys. Looks like an amazing experience. And to our guests, we do want to thank you very much for joining us tonight. Should you have any follow-up questions on cruise travel with Royal Caribbean, or have other travel related questions we can assist you with, or if we can service your travel needs in any other way after tonight, please do let us know and we would be happy to assist you. Our next tour coming up will be on September the 1st, when we will be presenting to you an exciting regional tour of the Guanacaste area of Costa Rica, which will be presented by our friends at Outstanding Costa Rica. And registration is now available on our events page at travelandrelax.com. And we also invite you to check our events archives on our website, where you can find replays of past tour destinations that we have presented And again, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and thank you very much for attending.